Hi, thank you for joining me for part 3 of the Survey Voting Committee workshop. I'm going to begin by telling you an outline of really the nitty-gritty now of what we actually do in the Survey Voting Committee when we begin processing an issue through the community for discussion. As I said in the last part, this piece of the process is extremely important, because when we discuss and we actually take time and listen to all the point of views that everyone has around an issue, we each grow in our understanding of the issue. And I think at the end of putting together all the ideas that come about in the discussion, we're able to move forward in whatever way is necessary, whether that be having a vote about something, or turning it into a policy, or tweaking our Constitution. But this one piece of discussion, I can't emphasize enough, is very, very important. It's time consuming, it's tedious as far as, needing a lot of people to help us accomplish the discussion, but I think the rewards of doing that far outweigh any burdens that it might be to be patient through this process, because I do think that this will produce an opportunity for us to make a very wise decision together, and it will also allow us to learn from each other and become united, or have unity in our diversity. So when we begin with a topic, and like I said in the last part, that we began with a question to the whole community of which topics you wanted us to start with, and we had the top 5 topics that we've already processed through. And so in doing that, each topic was a little bit different, and but we were able to come up with sort of a common way of processing the topic. The thing that was the most challenging was, once we got through the processing of to know what to do next with that information, and depending on what the issue was and what happened in the discussion, made us decide to go one way for one topic, like send it to the Constitution Committee, or another way with another topic, and maybe do some kind of additional survey. So I'm going to just give you the outline now of how this works, and hopefully it will help you to be open to sending topics our way when you think they are necessary, whether it comes from a committee that you are working on, or whether it comes from you individually. But attached to the email, to the link to this video, I'm going to send you what's called our referral form. So we are asking that anytime you have a need for a topic to go through our committee to have a discussion, that you begin with the referral form. So basically you'll just tell us what the topic is, and just fill out that form and send it to one of the committee members. Before we end, I'll tell you the names of all the people on this committee, but from now on we would like the topic to begin with you in the form of a referral. So we expect that maybe the finance committee will send us referrals for this, the Constitution Committee will send us referrals for this, and individual people, maybe even a support circle, has come upon something that they want us to discuss. So just send that in, and it's important that you tell us if there is an actual timeline that you see that is necessary. Something, if the topic might be specific to something that needs to be addressed sooner than later. So we want you to send us your referrals, and then once we get the referrals, then we go into the next step, which is prioritizing where they go into our flow of things. Because as I said, we are always working with lots of topics, and sometimes in the midst of working with 5 topics, another one comes in that needs our attention quicker than the other topic. So the next step after getting a referral is our committee looks at it together and then decides where it's going to fit. We assign the topic to 2 facilitators. And so once we do that, the 2 facilitators look at the topic, they write a description of everything that is needed to give you an idea of what we're wanting you to discuss. It might even give 2 ways of looking at the topic, but a kind of a succinct description of the topic is written up by the 2 facilitators. So then they are getting ready for the next step. So they at that point will look at what's already on the slate for us right now, where it should fit in our list of processing through the topics. The facilitators will also come up with a timeline. Let's say they will say that this topic needs to go out at the beginning of September, and we will allow this topic to go through all the different places for discussion, and we will say by September the 30th the discussion is over, and we'll gather all the information and go to the next step. So as you can see, the facilitators have a very important job, and it can be time consuming, and so we are very, very open to getting as many people that want to be a part of our survey voting committee for this very purpose. So we have a long list of facilitators that can jump in and start working on a topic when we need them to. So then after the facilitators have their description together, then they will send that first of all to the support circles. They will maybe put it in an email and an attachment of the description of the topic along with the timeline, and ask the support circles, would they like to have this topic as one of the things that they discuss in that particular month. We do not require the support circles to automatically say yes to that. It's totally, they can say yes, they can say no. But if they say yes, then we ask them, once they finish their discussion, to give us a write-up of the ideas that came out of that discussion and send it back to the facilitators of that topic. So then another piece of the process that the facilitators do is they set up 2 different dates that the whole community can come to a conference call and discuss the issue. So they send an email out. Once again, they describe the topic, and then they tell them the dates that are open for a discussion on a conference call. And this conference call obviously is facilitated by the facilitators of the topic so that everybody on that conference call can be heard. We usually record the conversation so that anybody that wants to can go back and listen to it. So then the next piece that happens with the facilitators in a particular topic is that they also invite the community to email the facilitators or call the facilitators if they prefer that method of giving their ideas about the topic. So they could, they make available their phone numbers and their email addresses, and say, if you prefer to just give us input about this topic, please send it, and by the cutoff date. And so those are kind of the 3 ways so far that we have come up with, ways that we can get input from in a discussion about a topic. Now, the thing that has happened with a lot of our topics that we in the survey voting committee have pretty much not wanted to happen is that the topic goes out onto the listserv. We have no authority to tell anybody to not do that, but we have seen when that happens that because that is an area that there's no real facilitator of the listserv, and there's no one there to kind of mediate if there is conflict. We have asked that the topic not go out onto the listserv. But once again, it's happened. We've lived through it. Everybody has a different opinion about that. Maybe as we go forward using these other methods, maybe people will have a little more confidence in the methods we're suggesting. Or maybe we'll get better at using the listserv, but it just seems like that is, when we are talking about something, especially something that is very near and dear to many people's hearts, putting it out on the listserv, as we've seen, can get a bit uncomfortable, and even it can go off on a tangent that we don't want it to go off on. Feelings get hurt, that kind of thing. So, I'm going to let you prayerfully decide what you think about that. But right now, I still say that the Survey Voting Committee would recommend that we prefer, when you talk about a topic, one that we send out, to maybe use one of the 3 ways, or all of the 3 ways that we suggest, which are to talk with your support circle, to possibly talk with a facilitator or email a facilitator, and to attend one of the conference calls. Another thing that we are very open to is your suggestions of other ways to have these kind of discussions. If you think of another wonderful way to do this, we're wide open to try other ways, because the bottom line is that we want to be able to facilitate a very healthy, good discussion, and gather all of the wonderful ideas that are floating around out there with all of our members about these topics, so that we can learn from them, grow from them, make decisions from the wisdom that comes from a discussion of a topic. I am going to now just close with the list of the people who are in our survey voting committee right now. And I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart for all the work that they have done and are doing. I invite anyone listening to this to consider being a part of our committee. And so I'm going to, before I run out of time, I'm going to go down the list. Peg Bowen is on the committee, T. Casper, Katie Zatzik, Kathy Ryan, Mary T. Streck, Rita Lucy, Debbie Trees, Olga Lucia, Christina in Columbia, and I'm forgetting her last name and I'm sorry, Sylvia Perez, Jenny Marcus, Mary White, Dottie Shagru, and Barbara Duff have all been part of our survey voting committee, and we appreciate them very much. And I think my time is up, so thank you very much.